Okay, welcome back to Southern Fried TCG. Going to be showing my top 32 Gencon Open deck profile today. Of course, I'm G, aka most people know me as Chris. But however, I would like to just show this off. As we can see, OPBL, RC, and Lionizer. I qualified in round, I won't call it a round, I would say the Thursday 4 o'clock preliminary. That's when I qualified. I placed 4th with this deck. I dropped from the first one after going my first match running into bugs. I decided to, well, I tried to stay in, and then I ended up losing another, I think, round 3 or round 4, and at that point I dropped. But top 7 in the 4 o'clock, the one that I actually placed top 4, my only loss through that whole day actually came from Kevin Allen, the Gencon Open winner, with that 4 wide cars or three cars in RC. But yeah, that was absolutely amazing. So as you can see, I do have different colored sleeves on these right now. I have been working on some other things, so some of the cards I just, instead of switching out sleeves for this video, I just threw them in. Sorry about that. Hope you can deal with it. But without further ado, before I did not sideboard any characters. I did sideboard some cards. We'll go over that at the end of everything, and as well as when I went into the Open, I did change a few things for my main deck and my sideboard, and we'll go over that again as well at the end of the video. But for now, let's go ahead and start. Sorry about that. They should have been like that from the beginning. So, because that works better for me based on my visual preference. So, usually during the first time of every battle, I always flip Optimus Prime and swing in with Lionizer. And then based off of battle flips and everything else, I'll either flip Optimus back, or I usually, more often than not, flip RC, and my second attack would be with RC, giving that Pierce, of course. And then Optimus Prime's ability, everybody knows it. The OPBL just broken with his innate abilities to be able to play the actions off the flips. I wouldn't call it broken, even though I just did. Excuse me, sorry about that. I want to be correct. It is not broken. It is just another card. It takes skill and accuracy in order to be able to actually play some of these things correctly, and knowing when to do certain things, and a lot of that can be seen in different videos, whether it be mine, S. Akuma's, Wrecking Rules, Powered by Primus, Vector Sigma, Arbitrary Hero. I mean, the list goes on and on. So it's knowing when and where and how to play the thing. Just like everybody's complaining about Cliff Jumper, it is not broken. But that's for another talk. We will continue on with this. So these are the characters, and of course you flip back to get all that. But let's get away from the characters. First up we have 3 Confidence. Of course, draw 2, scrap 2, you may play another action. That ability to go through the deck, getting what you need, is absolutely necessary. As you can see, it's an orange pip, which works really well for this high aggro deck. So next, I had, in this version that I actually qualified, I had 1 copy of Espionage. Nice to be able to get some of the like security checkpoints out of people's hands in a defensive build, or Peace Through Tyrannies in an aggro build, or anything like that, or even against cars, getting those turbo boosters, or start your engines out of their hand. Really works well. Then we have 3 incoming transmissions. It's a great card. Draw 2, scrap 2, or then put a card from your hand. Draw 2, then put a card from your hand on top of your deck. Sorry about that. Great card. However, certain things have me rethinking some stuff, and we'll go over that. And that's basically because Kevin Allen, his ideas and stuff like that, and it's really ingenious. And I know it has a lot of people changing their ideas on their deck formats. And it really has me thinking about this, because the only reason I really ever had these in the deck was because of Improvised Shield. Didn't want to get them stuck with the hand. So, and he didn't run any Improvised Shields in his build, and it makes a lot of sense because so many times I have a dead card in hand, and then I added 3 more cards that I don't really care about that I could have used something else, which is decent, but it's not really needed in this deck outside of getting Improvised Shield out of your hand. So at that point, it's really not even like, so I added 3 cards, total of 6 cards that didn't need to be in here. So that's a thought for another time though. Excuse me, sorry about that. Next, I have 2 copies of New Designs. Once again, it is very rare that this card has came in clutch or even helped me at all. At that point, I really thought it could have came out of the main deck, and I believe in my main build of, nope, it's still in there in my main build for the open as well. But next, I have 3-piece through Tyranny. Great for KOing Lionizer whenever he's high in damage, or just take another turn and just swing away, swing away, swing away. It's a great, great card, great combination. Pretty much anybody knows that one. Next, we have 1 copy of Press the Advantage. Now, Press the Advantage, great card, whether I'm going up against Autobots or Decepticons. Going up against Decepticons is that much greater, but we all know what that does for the most part. The +2 attack for one of your Autobots, and then -2 defense to one of the Decepticons, and it is retrievable with that orange pip. That is absolutely awesome. Next, there's 2 copies of Quartermaster. Great for bringing the RS Fire Steel Saber back to one of your characters, or in between attacks if you piece through Tyranny, switching it from Optimus to RC or from RC to Optimus. A great little combination, and I've actually taken out a couple KOs doing it that way. Really nice. Next, there's 2 copies of Ramming Speed. Of course, Ramming Speed is that upgrade hate, orange pip. It's in there basically because I know I'm not the only person that was running a Battlemaster. So at that point, why not? And then we have, I'm gonna just do it like this. And then we have 3 copies of Squish Them Like Bugs. Great card, especially with Optimus Prime, because OPBL, because guess what? 13 stars. There's only a couple of characters out there that are either tied or greater than him. So pretty much always going to be proccing Squash Them Like Bugs. Even Lionizer can do it. RC has done it a few times also against combiners, so it's actually well, not so much combiners. Sorry about that. Who was it? The oh man, messing it all up. The Micromasters. It's only came, I think, 1 game, but it was actually a pretty cool thing because they were protecting their Micromasters for the draws and everything like that with a bunch of heroisms and braves. It was actually a pretty unique deck. But so that came in handy on that one. I didn't have to waste attacks going into the smaller guys. Next, there's 3 copies of Steamroll. Great card, procced it from hand, or use Optimus Prime's ability whenever you swing in with a heavy RS Fire Steel Saber on Lionizer attack. You end up flipping one of these, and then you add the supercharge on top of that, so you flipped an extra 7 battle cards. So 7, 9, you hit a white, you hit 11. I mean, It's absolutely insane. Then you hit the steamroll and you're like, okay, so yeah, this guy takes 20 attack into your character, and so it takes 5 to knock him out. 15 goes over here. It's awesome. It ends up getting a couple 2-hit KOs. That's why everybody likes Grimlock so much. But Optimus OPBL's ability to activate an action and steamroll. Granted, no pip, all well. Next, 3 copies of Supercharge. Supercharge gives you that bold 3, the orange pip. Absolutely insane for any of the characters, because Lionizer has the innate bold 4, and excuse me, him as a weapon gives him, or whoever has him, bold 4, or even just RC by herself, or Optimus Prime by itself, any of them. That extra bold 3 really helps. RC for the Pierce, Optimus OPBL, of course, for other options for his action ability or for extra damage, any of which sense. It's absolutely amazing. Next, we have 2 copies of Treasure Hunt. Treasure Hunt is helping you get through that deck and get out some of those actions that are later on in the deck, actually, which we are just now about to get to. So taking out those is really, really helpful in getting them in your hand for boosting up the characters for heavy hits. I mean, they're already hitting strong, but even stronger, especially whenever you think of things like the erratic energy grenade, because there are 3 of those. It drops the defense, but who cares? You drop it on Lionizer, so what? KO him, who cares? Guess what? It's a fully defensive build, or aggro build anyways. So you do what you gotta do. Next, there are 3 copies of Grenade Launcher. Of course, it's an aggro build. Orange pip, +4. Scrap the card after attack, who cares? You are swinging for amazing numbers at that point. Pretty self-explanatory. Next is the copy of the card that I said I honestly questioned after this round of tournaments, whether it should even be. It should be, I think, in some, but for the most part, no. It doesn't have any purpose in any kind of aggro builds for the most part. Very few decks actually need this, but I did have it in there, and now, after everything, it's being second thought of. Next, there are 3 copies of Power Punch. Of course, Power Punch, a great card. You do have to scrap at the end turn, but that bold 3 with the orange pip makes it, in my opinion, a better card over, because even with what was it, Power Sword, where you get it's blue pip, but you get the bold 3 put on melee characters and it has to stay there. Great. Lionizer's melee OPBL, and his alt mode is melee, so yeah, it works, but at the same time, I don't care. I need to be able to just throw it on there, and I want that orange, so it's a great option. Next, we get down into the sideboard. In the sideboard, I don't have all of the cards out with me right now, but I did run 1 copy of Cornered, of course, facing off against Bugs, flipping Scrapnel back to his alt mode is absolutely amazing, great. I really hate the orange or the green pip part. Next, there was 1 copy of Espionage in the sideboard. Sorry, it's not here. Then there were 3 copies of Heat of Battle in my sideboard, as well as 1 copy of Ready for Action, 2 erratic energy grenades, which are great for slapping on Lionizer late game or right before you piece through Tyrannium, and then freaking sending 2 damage to everybody. Just a little fun trick. And 2 mining picks, because I really couldn't figure out what else to put in there. I mean, it does work, but not so well. And then in the open itself, the only thing that really changed is I ran in main board 1 copy of One Shall Stand, One Shall Fall, and I main boarded 3 Heat of Battle. And what came out was 1 Quartermaster, 1 Espionage, and then 1 Espionage stayed in the side deck, but no main board. What was it else? Oh yeah, 1 copy of Erratic Lightning, and what was the other one? I can't remember for the life of me right now. Oh yeah, I went down to a 2 incoming transmission. Like I said, it's pretty much not even needed in this, but that was all I did. That was really the only things that I changed going into the Open itself. But that was my top 32 build. Be happy to know what y'all think. Any ideas or anything like that. Trust me, it's not done being worked on. Do I think it can compete with that crazy idea Kevin Allen came up with? Probably not. He actually crushed me in our face-off on the 4 o'clock on Thursday that I queued on. He's absolutely a cool guy, really laid back for the most part. And what he brought to the game was an amazing thing. So don't forget, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's one of the things that helps us keep going as content providers. Just don't forget that. Beyond that, I will speak to y'all next time. Thank y'all.